Hi, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. I am working with day number 28 of 30 Days of Sketches. This is series 11 with Christy's Beautiful Life. This sketch was created exclusively for this hop by Shayla Gale Knowles. This is kind of a really fun and interesting sketch. You could interpret it just about any way you'd like. I am going to flip it because I am going to be using photos of my granddaughter and I don't want the larger one looking off the page, so I'm just going to flip it so that this one is on the right hand side. And let's get started. So first, let's talk about what I have pulled to play with. I am using my March counterfeit kit. I have been kind of lax this month with using it. Usually I've used up all of my pattern paper by the 15th of the month, and here it is at the end of the month and I haven't used all of it yet. I'm close, but I haven't used it all yet. Anyway, my March counterfeit kit is mostly Cocoa Vanilla Studio Storyteller with a few other bits and pieces thrown in. So I'm going to be playing with these pieces, some scraps from previous layouts. I'm going to use this lovely grid background from Felicity Jane, and then some other Cocoa Vanilla pieces. I may pull in the last of these vellum stitch stickers from Freckled Fawn. We will see. And that's it. That's what I'm going to be playing with. So we're going to get started. I'm going to speed the video up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make that diagonal triangle looking piece that goes at the top and bottom of the layout. I will cheat and just draw a line with my Omnigrid ruler, and then I'm going to cut it out with my trimmer because I'm not hand cutting this. I can't cut straight worth that poo. I'm also just going to use that same diagonal line, and I'm going to cut the other side with my trimmer as well, and then that gives me the two pieces that I need and still quite a big sheet of scraps to play with for later. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going to flip the sketch, and the only thing that's really getting flipped are the photos, and that is simply because I didn't want Scarlett looking off the page on the larger photo. I want her to be looking across the layout. I just think that that looks better on a layout, not having somebody looking off the edge. If you can avoid it at all costs, you can't always. And my two smaller photos also has a little bit of looking off the page, but because they're smaller, your eye isn't drawn as well to it. So anyway, that's my thought process on that. So I am struggling a little bit getting that top piece adhered. I'm gonna cut my photos down and kind of get some placement going on. I will mat my large photo. She has kind of an offset, almost like an Instagram or instant camera frame on it. In the sketch, I'm not doing that. I'm just matting it with the yellow paper, and that's all I'm going to be doing with that. I'm going to plop those two pieces of scraps there because those are the scraps that I'm going to use, and then that kind of eliminates some scraps from my March counterfeit kit. So the yellow is the back side of the heart that you saw me cut down at the beginning. So I'm utilizing quite a few of my scraps already here, and these really tiny pieces, like that piece I just pulled away, I'm not even going to keep at this point. I know that I'm not going to be doing any paper piecing or anything that's going to need little bitty scraps for this, so I'm just going to kind of let those go. I kind of was wishing that I had pulled in some red cardstock for this layout to back one of those photos with red cardstock. But in the end, I just cut down those two small scraps down just enough to make them 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 to fit behind my 3 by 4 photos. Now the sketch has them as an offset mat, and that is exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to do anything fancy with them. I'm just going to offset them just like she has on her sketch. So I will be adhering my photos down onto my background because I want to play with the embellishments that I have chosen for this layout, and I want my photos to be down so that they don't move while I'm playing with the ephemera pieces. I am also going to go ahead and put my title down. Now I'm going to mention that I wish that I had put it at the top like the sketch shows, but I plopped it down here on top of this photo, and because Cocoa Vanilla's adhesive on their foam titles is so good, I'm not able to move it without tearing up my photo and ruining the words, so it's going to stay at the bottom instead of going at the top. And I think the reason why I chose to put it at the bottom to begin with is because that G hung down into Scarlett's face and hair on the photo, and I wasn't looking for that. I thought about using this piece of floral chipboard. I decided not to, and I pull it back off after kind of playing with it a little bit on either side. It would have been fine, but it just wasn't quite what I was looking for. So I set aside the chipboard pieces, and I'm just going to open up my floral ephemera pack. Now I bought 3 of these packs of flowers because I always seem to run out of floral ephemera, and so lately when I buy a collection, if I can, I try to get at least 2 packs, and so I did that with this collection as well. And I'm probably going to have leftover floral ephemera versus leftover pattern paper with this, so maybe 2 is probably the limit. You should go with that if that's something that you do as well. So I'm trying to use more of the pink and the red and the lighter blue floral pieces rather than going with the navy, since I have that navy pattern paper at the top and bottom. And I'm just kind of layering things up as we go here. I want to tuck some bits and pieces behind the larger flowers and just kind of get a little bit of layering in my clusters. So I did go ahead and glue everything down off camera. I added in those chipboard hearts, and now I'm going to add in the enamel hearts and dots that are also from the Storyteller collection. I did use foam adhesive behind a couple of the flowers. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. I hope that you liked my video, and if you did, please click that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and make sure that you check that collaborative playlist below in my description box so that you can see what all of the other creators are doing with these sketches this month. You have a great Tuesday afternoon. Bye.